As discussed in the previous video on income statement, the balance sheet is one of the three important financial statements. We will cover the third one, that is cash flow statement, in the next video. Now let's get to the balance sheet. A balance sheet is a snapshot of a company's assets, liabilities and shareholders' equity at a specific point in time. The first thing you should know is there are two types of capital, debt and equity. अगर आप किसी को लोन देते हैं तो आप उनसे इंटरेस्ट लेने की उम्मीद रखते हैं प्रिंसिपल के साथ, करेक्ट? कंपनीज में ऐसे लोन को डेब्ट कैपिटल कहा जाता है। वैसे ही अगर आप किसी कंपनी में इक्विटी डालते हैं तो आपको उसके प्रॉफिट या लॉस का हिस्सा मिलता है। In the income statement video, we gave an example of starting a business of selling ACs. Now, when you start the business and purchase 10 ACs worth rupees 25,000 each, you will need 2.5 lakh capital. जब आप 2.5 लाख रुपए के ACs खरीदेंगे तो वो होगा आपका equity capital. Against this, you will own 100% of the company's shares. You also decide to avail rupees 50,000 loan from a bank to run your company's operations. This is debt capital. This is how your company's liability side on the balance sheet will look. Shareholder equity is 2.5 lakh, debt is rupees 50,000, total liability is rupees 3 lakhs. On the asset side, here's how the balance sheet looks. You purchased ACs worth rupees 2.5 lakh, so that becomes your inventory. While the remaining rupees 50,000 is sitting as cash in the bank account, total assets are rupees 3 lakh. इस एग्जाम्पल से हमें दो चीजें समझ आई. A balance sheet has two sides, liabilities, which is nothing but source of funds, be it equity or debt capital, and assets, which is where the funds are deployed, be it in inventory or kept as cash in bank. The second point, the value of liabilities and assets must always match. Hence, the term balance sheet. हमने हमारी AC कंपनी का इनिशियल बैलेंस शीट बना दिया है. Now imagine that over the next 1 month, you sold all 10 ACs at rupees 30,000 each. But you had to spend rupees 2,000 per AC as marketing expense, or rupees 20,000 in total. Here's what your balance sheet will now look like. On assets, inventory is rupees 0. Cash in bank, rupees 30,000. Receivable is rupees 3 lakh. This is the money that you will receive from people whom you sold the inventory to. Total assets rupees 3.3 lakh. On the liability side, जो हमने rupees 30,000 profit बनाया है, that gets added to shareholder equity, which was 2.5 lakh before. Here's the liability statement for that month. Shareholder equity rupees 2.8 lakh. Debt rupees 50,000. Total rupees 3.3 lakh. अगर आपने ये एग्जाम्पल समझ लिया तो आपको बैलेंस शीट का ये कॉन्सेप्ट एकदम क्लियर हो चुका है. बैलेंस शीट ऑफ लार्ज कंपनीज जस्ट हैव अ लॉट मोर ट्रांजैक्शंस एंड टाइप्स ऑफ लाइन आइटम्स, बट द प्रिंसिपल रिमेन्स द सेम. हाउ इज अ बैलेंस शीट डिफरेंट फ्रॉम P&L? Whenever any financial transaction takes place in a company, it is recorded in two books of accounts called ledger and journal. All transaction will impact the P&L and the balance sheet. The big difference in the balance sheet and the P&L is that P&L reflects all expenses and income during a particular period. मतलब अगर आपने P&L एक साल के पीरियड के लिए बनाया तो उसमें उस साल के सारे एक्सपेंसेस और अर्निंग्स दिखेंगे. But balance sheet reflects the company's asset and liability situation on a particular day. मतलब अगर आपने बैलेंस शीट फाइनेंशियल ईयर के लास्ट दिन दैट इज 31 मार्च को बनाया तो आपको उस दिन के एसेट्स और लायबिलिटीज का अंदाजा मिलेगा. एक बड़ी कंपनी के बैलेंस शीट पे आपको बहुत सारे टर्म्स मिलेंगे जैसे कि शॉर्ट टर्म लायबिलिटीज, करंट एसेट्स एक्सेट्रा. हम अभी डिटेल में नहीं जाएंगे. इफ यू वांट टू अंडरस्टैंड देम इन डिटेल, चेक आउट द टेक्स्ट चैप्टर लिंक्ड विद दिस वीडियो. There is one last thing to remember about how expenses are recorded. There are two types of expenses. अगर आपने AC की इन्वेंटरी खरीदी तो इसे कहेंगे ऑपरेशनल एक्सपेंस. वो इसलिए क्योंकि ये एक्सपेंस की लाइफ साइकिल विल एंड व्हेन यू सेल द AC. But if you purchase a laptop to run your operations, it will be called capital expenditure. Why? Because you expect the laptop to continue to give you benefit for several years. So while all operational expenses are recorded on the P&L, capital expenditure is only recorded on the balance sheet. At the end of the year, only the value proportionate to the life of any capital asset is accounted on the P&L. Matlab, when you purchase the laptop, it sits on the balance sheet with a value of rupees 50,000. Next year, its value will be reduced to 40,000 and P&L will absorb rupees 10,000 as cost and so forth. This approach is called depreciation. It helps spread capital expenditure cost across the life of the asset.
Investment in securities market are subject to market risks. Read all the related documents carefully before investing.